Thanks for tuning in for Wine Pairings and Football Predictions. So I want to start by saying that I got last Thursday's game completely wrong. Now, to be honest, I don't think anybody in the U.S. except for Giants fans thought that Philly had a chance of losing. All right? I mean, they were a 7.5-point favorite. Not to mention they won the Super Bowl last season. So, and the Giants have looked like trash. I don't know what happened, but that happens. But tonight we have two games, and I'm going to take one that is going to go against the odd makers and one I'm in a total agreement with them. So in the first game that's starting at 4:30 Pacific time, which means if you want to get tonight's wine, you're going to have to get a move on it. We're going to see the Buffalo Bills in Atlanta playing the Falcons. The Bills are a 3.5-point favorite. I'm going with the Falcons because the Bills have not looked great. They look like they're out of sync. Also, the Bills live and die with passing because Josh Allen is a great quarterback. But the Falcons are number one in the league for allowing the lowest amount of passing yards at 136 yards per game. So I also feel like the Atlanta Falcons are starting to really build some momentum behind Michael Penix. They're 2-3, yes, and they have, and the Bills are 4-1. But I just feel like they're going to be at home and they're really starting to believe in Penix as their quarterback. I just think they can win tonight. Starting exactly an hour after that, at 5:15, is the second game. And this game is going to be pairing up the Chicago Bears in D.C. playing the Washington Commanders. Commanders are 5.5-point favorites. I'm taking the Commanders purely on the strength of Jalen Daniels being there. He was the Offensive Rookie of the Year last year, and he was out due to injuries. They came back last week, and he managed to get a win against the Chargers. And guess what? The Chargers are a good team, all right? Not like beating, the Giants, really, who are not a good team. But the Chargers are a good team. They beat them, and I just think that they're going to win tonight because they're just getting better and better as the season goes on. Now, for tonight's wine, I only got one bottle because although I had the day off, I got a lot of work to do tomorrow, and I have a very busy week ahead of me, including a trip to New Orleans. So look for some on location, out of my home wine reviews for next Monday. Now, today's wine is a sparkling wine, which I love. And we're also still celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. So I want to keep trying to dig and find some stuff that we had not really been seeing very much. And what I found was a sparkling wine from Brazil. In particular, it is from a place called Benito Goncalves, right? It took me a while to figure out how to pronounce it. And this is from a winery called Stilton. It was Stilton Family Wineries. They have 5 labels underneath their main, kind of under the Stilton family. They have been in existence for over 100 years. They are also the number one seller of domestic sparkling wine. And to that, I was able to find this wine on Total Wine. It is priced to move at $10, and it is Alma Non-Vintage Sparkling Wine Brut. And this is 60% Moscato and 40% Trebbiano. And I was a little bit nervous because Moscato tends to be sweet, and that's not really what I go for. But Trebbiano tends to not be sweet, so I was hoping that that would be enough to get us through it. So when you take a look in this glass, you'll see that it has kind of a golden straw color, and there is a nice mousse, that's the bubbles coming up from the bottom. Now, on the nose, I'm immediately getting hit with yeast, which is a good thing to be hit with because when you're having champagne or any sparkling wine, we are often using yeast to get that going. If you're doing in carbonation in bottle, then that is done by adding carbon dioxide into the wine, and then that creates the bubbles. But most of the time, traditional method, you have to use yeast. So you're getting hit with yeast, a little bit of lemon, a faint smell of honey, and a little bit of apple. On the tongue, I'm being hit with lemon peel right away. There is a slight pineapple. You know how you eat pineapple and it kind of gives you a little bit of a buzz on the side of your tongue, on your taste buds? I'm getting that. I'm also getting green apple, like think of a really tart Granny Smith. We're kind of getting that. And then the other thing is this finish is very similar to the start. So you're getting that kind of pithy, lemon peel, bordering on being bitter kind of a taste. For $10, I think this is actually a pretty decent choice. Now, I caveat that by saying it's an excellent choice if you are going to be making mimosas or Bellinis or Aperol Spritz, something where you're going to add something else. If you're just going to be drinking it by itself, it's okay. I feel like, you know what, spend a little bit more and get something better. You know, I recommend this if you're a person who's interested in having something unusual. You're not getting a lot of wine from Brazil. It's going to be definitely a conversation starter. And if you don't want to spend basically $15 on like La Marca to use as your mixer, or you can't get to Costco and buy their Prosecco's, like $7 and $8. But it's okay. You know, it's not bad. I'll be pairing it with burgers and fries because I love sparkling wines with fries. Okay, let's recap it. 1, go ahead and take the Atlanta Falcons in the first game. 2, game number 2, go ahead and take the Washington Commanders. And number 3, our wine. Let me show it to you again. Alma from Brazil, non-vintage, $10 at Total Wine and More. All right. Cheers.